So in this video that we keep going about this group theory, so we are gonna to introduce this homomorphism. So since we have idea of subgroup, so next thing is homomorphism. This is similar in the linear algebra if you know the linear transform. Okay, so the definition, if you take G and G prime are two groups, and we say that F is homomorphism from G to G prime if f of x times y is f of x, f of y. So this operation is in G, this is in G prime. So basically, this is the map compatible with group operation. This is very similar in a vector space. In vector space, we define a linear transformation to be something like this. And this addition is in a vector space V, this addition is in a vector space W. Okay, so this is the group homomorphism, this is the definition. And so another more fancy definition goes as follows. One can use this idea called diagrams. Okay, so if you take G, there's a product of G, so its element is AB in G. You can map into G prime by this F, by just F of A, F of B. Now if I can go the retreating, I can just use the multiplication map. So this is G, and this is AB. This is AB, and this is F. So this is G prime by F, AB. Now this map is also composition. So FA, FB prime, FB. Okay, so what this diagram is saying is that group homomorphism, the definition of group homo is basically saying that this map is commutative. Meaning that if I go from here AB, then this is AB tuple goes to AB composition, then it goes to FAB. This is the same as I go to FAB, yeah. And this is the same as I go here. I first compute both Fn and Fb, and I compute their products Fa times Fb. So if F is a group homomorphism, then this diagram will be commutative. So another definition is say that you collect every map F such that this diagram commutes. This is basically another definition of more fancy definition of homomorphism. So diagram commutes if F is group homomorphism. So you can view this as another definition. And so when F inverse exists, and F inverse is also a group homomorphism, and we say F is an isomorphism, group isomorphism. Okay, so more abstractly, we say that G and G prime are isomorphic if there exists F from G to G prime where F is isomorphism, group isomorphism. Okay, so this is the definition. So basically, when I say G and G prime are isomorphic, somehow I'm saying that they are the same group up to somehow like relabeling. Okay, so from here that we can construct a more interesting subgroup. It's called automorphism of the group G. So you can consider all the map from G to G prime, and F is isomorphic. Okay, good. And one can consider the kernel of F. If you give me any F from G to G prime, I can define a kernel. It's all the element in G such that Fg is mapped to identity. So you can view this as somehow like a null space in linear algebra. So recall that null space is defined to be the vector in V such that it maps to 0 vectors. And there's an idea called the image of F. There's f of g, and g belongs to g. Okay, so this is just a group, and this is the actually it's a subset of g, and this one is also a subset of g prime. So these three are a common definition. Okay, and very important. Okay, so now we want to say the property. We want to first say the property of these three. Okay, so I start with the simplest one. So the first one is that kernel F is a subgroup of G. Okay, so proof. And this is very simple, right? So recall that we want to prove. Recall that so we just need to, we want to show if I take x y in kernel F, and hopefully the xy inverse is in kernel F. This is the condition. This is a condition here. 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 Okay. Okay, so proof. So it's very simple. So now I just compute f xy inverse. If I can show its identity, then it must be 0, right? Then it must in kernel. So this is fx and fy inverse, and this is fx. Okay, so notice that when in a group homomorphism, if you use identity times identity, then you get identity, f identities and f identity. So this tells you that f identity is the same as f identity squared. If I compute the inverse, then I know f identity is identity prime. So identity always map to identity. This is the same as 0 vector always map to the 0 vector in a vector space. So from here, there I know that fy times fy inverse is the same as fy times fy inverse, and this is identity e prime. So this tells me that fy inverse is the same as fy, and take the inverse. So using this condition. So here I can use this. So I get fy inverse. Now, since they are in kernel, so it's identity times identity inverse. So e prime inverse, which is e prime. So this shows that fxy inverse belongs to kernel F. Okay, so this is the subgroup. And image is also a subgroup of G prime. And this is somehow fairly simple, very simple. So if I take xy belongs to image F, then meaning that maybe x prime, y prime be image F, then there is x and y such that fx equals to x prime and fy equals to y prime. So F now right, so now x prime. Okay, so I want to show that x prime y prime inverse is in image F. Okay, so I want to find a map, find a pre-image, right? So obviously I can just take x y inverse. Okay, because if I compute f x y inverse, then I get f of x y inverse. So it's fy inverse. So this guy is x prime. This guy is y prime inverse. So prove this. So we prove this condition. Okay, so indeed there exists the xy. You just use xy inverse. So we prove it's a subgroup. And also automorphism group is a subgroup. Okay, so it's this is also it's a group. So the third one I want to say is this G is automorphism. Automorphism is a group. Okay, and the identity element will just be the identity, and the inverse will just be the inverse function. So this is an exercise. Okay, and so next time we will introduce I will just give you a very simple example of this automorphism, and also how to construct Actually, this is called outer automorphism. Then next time we will define so-called inner automorphism. Okay, so that's it.